From the John C. Production Art Studios in Peoria, Illinois, VideoMax Limited presents Midstate Magazine with your hosts Shane Fryer and Stephanie Robbins. News with Dawn McClure, Marcella Gillen, and the Midstate reporting team. Sports with Tim Leahy. In the Spotlight with Christine Gale. Get Real with Brent Wallace. On the Beat with Brandon Johnson. Let's Eat with Matt Mulvaney. Chad Weber takes us about town. Street Team with Derod Taylor. And State of with Lizzie Scoville. And now, from America's friendly Midstate Magazine. Take it away, kids.
Welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm Dawn McClure.
And I'm Marcella Gillen. Thanks for joining us. Now, Dawn, I start to feel a little bit of spring emerging, and with that comes visits to the Peoria Zoo, huh?
Exactly. And you know what the Peoria Zoo is talking about? Still teaching people how to find love. So Valentine's just passed, but they're still, they're going to use animals as an example. They're going to show people animals mate, and then I guess use that as a transition as to how you can approach it.
Do you have 18 to watch these things?
I'm assuming it's going to be friendly.
The zoo is supposed to be for small children. Now you're attracting kind of the older demographic who can't find love.
Well,
I mean, probably going to be kind of, you know. I'm stereotyping, but you know, maybe your average internet goer who doesn't leave his room.
Well, I think it's supposed to be for everybody. It's like a experience, you know, nature and all that taking place, and I don't know.
Will you be attending? I see you wearing red.
Please don't put me out there like that. No. Next, we also have the cruise ship that went down too. Did you hear about that?
I did. It's bittersweet because I know that everyone was boarded off very safely and back in their beds where they want to be at home and everything. Some terrible experiences.
Well, first one of the engines caught fire on the back of the ship, and a woman like saw it and ran into her daughter or something like that, and that's how. But I mean, they had to pretty much do everything in bags, you know, number one and two.
Oh, I felt terrible for the people. It was like the Titanic, but not as extreme anyway. But you know, the crew was really helpful and worked with what the conditions they had and everything.
Right. Also, on campus, you know, it's a lot going on with the shutdown of, I guess, alcohol or something like that?
Yes, and actually we're going to have the president of the student body, Alan Buckingolds, come in later today to talk about the students' feelings towards this new moratorium in place.
Nice.
So we'll check that out with the news.
A lot going on in the local area.
Let's see what the news team has for us.
Good evening, I'm Derod Taylor.
And I'm Haley Fichter. Now let's take a look at the news. Big news on Bradley's campus, especially for all IFC members. A prohibition put on all fraternity chapters and alcohol-based social events until further notice. Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life Associate Director Jesse Cook and the Division of Student Affairs Interim Vice President Nathan Thomas have stated in a letter that there has been an increase of violations involving the alcohol that includes purchasing alcohol with chapter funds and supplying alcohol to minors. The temporary prohibition applies to all chapter-related events on and off campus. When IFC Risk Management drops the moratorium, a letter will be sent out to all chapters to inform that the prohibition is over.
Bradley University students have seen limited transportation options on campus.
But this may no longer be the case. Simon Daniels has the story.
Between balancing or grabbing a slice of pizza, college life is hard. For those tired of pestering people for a ride, Zipcar has graced Bradley's campus.
You know, Zipcar obviously is a national program, and they have locations in Chicago, but they also have numerous campus locations.
Started in 2000, Zipcar allows people, not just students, to rent bulls by the hour 24/7. For Ryan Miller, Zipcar is not only allowed to take a spin behind the wheel, but also spin the tunes.
Get out on a gig for my DJing business, I can just hop in, go, and return the car, and it's easy.
That easiness comes at a cost. Renting any of the two Zipcars on Bradley's campus come to $8.50 per hour or $69 per day. That includes gas, insurance, and a mileage limit of 180 miles. You can drive farther than that, but you'll pay extra.
Probably the price is mainly the biggest thing. I mean, if you're not one that's really going to see the benefit because you look at the costs and it's really expensive, that's the really biggest drawback right there.
Even with the sticker shock that Ryan experiences renting any of these Zipcars, Vice President Thomas reiterated that students looking for relief from the university will no such luck.
No, this is solely on the students. The university has no financial obligation in this.
Meanwhile, the sticker shock wore off Ryan, justifying the benefits to the cost of Zipcar.
If you go to like Enterprise or like, Home Depot for a rental of a truck, it's going to have to pay for the gas, you're going to have to pay for all the extra insurance.
In Peoria, Simon Daniels, Midstate Magazine.
Thanks, Simon. On Tuesday, February 12th, Governor Pat Quinn and representatives of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development announced that the state of Illinois will receive a $12 million federal grant to pay for housing for the disabled. Quinn's office says that the money will go to low-income tenants and will up to 825 affordable apartments statewide for the disabled and those with special needs. Jazz music is going to make a big splash on Bradley's campus.
Amani Avery has the story.
This is Amani Avery, and I'm currently standing outside of the Music Center, where the Bradley University Jazz Ensemble is down in the band room rehearsing tediously for an upcoming jazz festival on February 26th. The members of the band, led by Dr. Kelly, rehearse various jazz pieces in an attempt to reintroduce jazz to younger generations.
Jazz is America's original art form. It's our music, and I think we have a responsibility to keep it alive and keep future generations knowing about it. And it's in the schools that we're really trying to keep that flame lit.
With that idea in mind, Dr. Kelly hopes to bring future jazz musicians to Bradley's campus.
Number one was to world-class guest artists to the campus and allow our students to work with them. The second reason is really educational. We bring 14 high school bands in from all over the state, and they get a chance to perform and then work with clinicians. And the third part is really recruiting. We have them on, we get to showcase the Bradley Jazz Ensemble with these great guest artists.
Although ample time and effort is put into the show, Dr. Kelly promises a fun performance.
The concert will have a lot of to it. The things will be great because I'm excited to play with this guest artist, so it should just be a really fun performance.
For Midstate Magazine, I'm Amani Avery.
Thanks, Amani. Now here's Brent with sports.
Thanks, Haley. 4 Alabama Crimson Tide freshmen were arrested on Monday. Defensive end DJ Pettaway and linebacker Tyler Hayes were charged with second-degree robbery and linebacker Brent Calloway for fraudulent use of a credit card. Former 5-star recruit Eddie Williams faces charges of both second-degree robbery, fraudulent use of a credit card, in addition to carrying a gun without a license. The Athletic released a statement Tuesday saying, "Very disappointed actions that have resulted in the charges against these athletes, and we will have more at an appropriate time." New coach, same quarterback. Michael Vick and the Philadelphia Eagles have reached a 1-year deal last week for the 2013 season for Vick to remain quarterback under new coach Chip Kelly's offense. He could make as much as $10 million. Vick told Yahoo Sports, "I feel like this is the perfect situation for me. After talking with Chip and looking at the offense, I wanted to be here." Vick, who turns 33 in June, passed for more than 2,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions in 10 games last season, his 4th with Philadelphia. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 overtime for Notre Dame to outlast Louisville 104-101. The longest game in big regular season history. 3, there were 26 lead changes and 16 ties. Notre Dame Mike Bray equated the game to a boxing match, saying it was like taking punches in a 15-round match. Bray said he was wondering during the game if there ever had been a 5-rounder before. Louisville guard Russ Smith had a chance to tie. His 3-point attempt missed before Notre students rushed the court. That was the 6th out of 8 contests between the Irish and the Cardinals that have gone into overtime. That's it for sports. Back to you, Haley.
Thanks, Brent. Last week, as a Valentine's Day gift, Russian tattoo artist Ruslan Tumansyans decided to tattoo his name on his girlfriend's face in black 5-inch letters just hours after they met in person. The pair met in an online chat room and are now engaged. Girlfriend Leshia claims to be very happy with the inking from her friend.
Tattoos are permanent, so
yeah,
wish them the best.
What a Valentine's gift.
That's it for the news. I'm Brent Chvalis.
I'm Derod Taylor.
And I'm Haley Fichter. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next.
Thanks, news team. Joining us today is Alan Buckingham, student body president of Bradley University. Thanks for being here today, Alan. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, about how long you've been the student body president at Bradley?
Yeah, Marcella, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I've been student body president since April of 2012.
Okay.
There were 2 elections. The first one, you needed to win by a certain percentage, and since there were so many people running, it was almost impossible to get that percentage. And then the second one was just a runoff, and I won that.
I understand you're a very popular guy, you know, with the campus. And if our viewers know, there has been a recent moratorium placed on the campus where they're actually going to prohibit any sort of social event that involves alcohol for non-members of a chapter house. And you being involved in both the, you're in a fraternity yourself, in addition to being a senior at Bradley, and you have to represent the student body, but sort of be that mediator between the administrators. How has that been handling an issue like this? What has been the general reaction of the student body?
I mean, I met with the IFC president Sunday night right after I found out about this, and we sort of we invited a couple people and we were talking with them about this, you know, should we have a reaction to this? And I think the case, what happens is when you tell a bunch of college students to do something, they want to do it even more.
Reverse psychology there.
Yeah, and I've met with Nathan Thomas several times. All the presidents of Panhell and IFC met Monday night without any administration there, and then Tuesday evening before chapter, we all met. And this is something I don't necessarily have to be involved, but it's something that I'm choosing to be involved with because I have the job and the role of the student body president to represent the students, not just fraternity and sorority members, but everyone as a whole.
Yeah, and do you feel like this is going to be an effective, I mean, can they really prohibit both the off-campus and on-campus in the chapter house? Are the kids still going to find ways to get around this? Or do you think it's an issue that reveals a weakness in the administration, that alcohol is sometimes a scapegoat? Do you think it may be more of like confronting a health issue within the student bodies?
I think kids are going to party. You know, we're at that age right now where kids are getting students are just going to do what they want to do. And I don't know, is it going to be effective? I hope so, because if it's not, then what?
Now this is a safety measure.
Yeah, and like the new policy will be in place, and I hope that it solves the problem.
Yeah, I hope you know, only the best can come from this. So thank you for joining us, Alan, and your opinion is very valued, so very much.
Appreciate
it. We have wondered what it takes to get a show like this together. Well, Megan found out for us with the About Crew. Let's take a look.
In the GCC, there are journalists, graphic design artists, animators, and then there is the Midstate crew. Let's find out who's in the studio today. Laura is the producer of Midstate magazine. What exactly does the producer do?
The producer kind of organizes a lot of the show, so I make sure that every segment gets their script in, gets their videos in, make sure we have enough material for a show, and also make sure that everyone else does their designated.
Even if someone doesn't have a job, Laura will definitely find one for them.
I get to help out in every aspect of the show, so I get to help set up, strike, with the whole running of the show even, so making sure every step along the way, everything's okay. If anyone has a question, they ask me and I try to give them an answer. If I don't know the answer off the top of my head, I try to find someone on our crew that does.
Laura doesn't have a specific segment she is a producer of. She helps out with everything that has to do with Midstate. As for when people call in sick, she has to go over and do their job.
A lot of times, I either end up taking their place, so I end up being the person that kind of does everyone a little bit of every job. I get to help people with their jobs and also teach new people when they come in how to work the equipment or how to do a segment, a story, basically anything that they need to know to get their job done.
Laura definitely her work cut out for her. I think I'm going to stick around the studio for a while. Until next time, for Midstate Magazine, I have Megan Casey with About Crew.
Thanks, Megan. That was a good piece on our producer, Laura.
Always interesting to know how to put one of these shows together.
I know, but I want to talk about the meteor shower. Did you hear about back in Russia?
The sky is falling.
Right, you know, something, they said something, it was like nighttime and it like lit up the sky and they said you could see it for more than like 100 miles away. And like, I think the count is up to 700 people now that was like possibly injured. They said windows and things were blown out.
A lot of the injuries came from broken glass, which is just terrible because imagine if this would have happened the day that the Mayans predicted the end of the world.
Oh, it would have been craziness.
I think it would have been craziness.
It would have been craziness, definitely.
I remember reading that meteor shower has been like the closest to the Earth, or like, like something that passed the Earth that we could have had
in a long time.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah. And other devastating news. Also, we got the Olympic athlete. I can't remember his name right now, but the amputee who made history from South Africa.
Yeah.
Now he's been accused of shooting his girlfriend or something like that.
Yes,
yeah.
and I did hear about that, and they presented the charge against him, and he just completely broke down. And I don't know if he's breaking down because he saw what he did, or if he got caught. It's always hard to tell when they're in the spotlight like that.
You know, let's keep developing and we'll just keep following. Also, you know, we got a lot going on. They keep calling us the year of like Beyonce or whatnot. She just gets
She's taking over our year.
I know. Some interview, who knows?
Well, we can find out more about entertainment.
Yes.
From Peoria to Hollywood, there is always something interesting going on.
Let's check it in with Savannah to see what celebrity news she has for us within the spotlight.
Hey everyone, I'm Savannah Jones, and here's what's happening in the spotlight. The 55th Annual Grammy Awards took place last week, honoring some of music's brightest stars. Big win of the night were the Black Keys, who took home 4 awards. Jay-Z and Kanye West claimed 3 for their album, Watch the Throne. Gautier's chart-topping hit, Somebody That I Used to Know, took home Record of the Year and Best Pop Duo. Mumford & Sons scored the night's biggest honor, Best Album, for Babel. And of course, the fashion at the Grammys did not disappoint. Stars like Beyonce, Rihanna, Carrie Underwood, and Justin Timberlake were the night's best dressed. In other celeb news, Kate Middleton is the subject of yet another photo scandal. Italian magazine She, the same outlet that printed photos of the Duchess of Cameron sunbathing topless in Denver, published photos of Prince William's pregnant wife in a bikini while the couple were on vacation. And stars of TV's 30 Rock, Alec Baldwin, has confirmed that he and his wife, Hilaria, are expecting their first child together. The couple released a statement last week stating that they are thrilled and can't wait to meet their baby, who is due sometime this summer. That's all for now. Until next time, I'm Savannah Jones, and this is In the Spotlight.
Thank you, Savannah. No, as this, you know, you're in the spotlight all the time. You know, that's why we call it In the Spotlight, our segment. But again, I think that Kate Middleton is a different type of celebrity. I mean, she may be, all eyes are on her, but she has to maintain this image of, you know, royalty, femininity, and always class. So for her to kind of have these pictures leak is a little bit crossing the line.
Well, first off, the whole topless thing obviously is ridiculous.
Well, then as a woman, I can understand you don't want to get tan lines. Come on.
But the whole thing that I don't think she should be treated as a celebrity, and this whole celebrity thing I think has gone way overboard with what cameramen are doing, and I think there's some kind of consequence. I haven't heard anything. Have you? Or if
no, I'm not too familiar with it. Just know the basics.
I don't know either. Music has played an important role in our local culture.
Let's see what Shane has in the About Town.
Hey, Shane Fryer here, and for this season of Midstate, I'll be showing you some of the best people and places to see in Peoria. So follow me as your host for About Town.
This week we headed down to Illinois, where Steve Ensley is certainly creating himself in the Midwest folk scene. He's not only a national class dulcimer builder, but also organizes mountain and hammer dulcimer workshops and performs at various concerts and events throughout the country.
I made my first one in 1985 in my basement. Like I said earlier, I had a drill and a cheap table saw and a pocket knife, and it was a learning experience since.
So far, 143 instruments have gone through his shop. Each one is just as unique as the customer who buys it.
I do have one here that is walnut with a sassafras top. And when you work with sassafras, it just kind of gives you the smell of the fresh sassafras tea tonic of the spring.
Developed in Appalachia sometime around the American Revolution, mountain dulcimers have a rich history in American folk music.
By being a diatonic instrument, it has some limitations, but you learn to work around those limitations. And one year when we was down at North Carolina for a week-long event, the lady did an open stage number and she sang Phantom of the Opera and accompanied herself with a dulcimer.
For Steve, the dulcimer is a way of life, and he encourages anyone to try it out for themselves.
It is a very relaxing, easy instrument to play. In fact, before you guys leave, I can have you playing a song in about 5 minutes. Team.
I'm nearly as confident in my dulcimer playing ability as Steve is, but boy, he sure does make it look easy. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Shane Fryer.
Thanks, Shane. You can check out some dulcimers this weekend at Three Sisters Park in Chile.
There will be lessons, workshops, and a concert on Saturday evening. Something fun to do.
I know. Maybe you should check it out this weekend or something.
Okay, we should go, Don. I'll take that as an invitation for us to go.
You know, I'm a little busy. But in other things that's going on, we was just talking about, what was it? The legalizing, gay marriage.
A step in the right direction for legalization of marriage. And I know Governor Pat Quinn said that if the bill did reach his desk, he'd and sign that. And I thought it was special because it did, the progress happened on Valentine's Day. And we got a lot of interesting commentary from gay couples who had been together for, you know, sometimes even 10, 15 years, but hadn't had that opportunity to kind of legally, you know, tie the knot.
And a lot of people are arguing that, you know, I know it's a tie-in with religion and everything, but it's also a civil rights issue and what people do.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, because I know it's a very passionate debate when it gets on the floor, because you have the religious institutions with their own rights being, you know, opinionated, and then you have the gay couples who at the same time have their rights being opinionated. So there's never a black and white. There's always those shades of gray.
It's so true. Well, Liz has something new for us to enjoy.
So let's see what she has with State of the Arts.
Hello, welcome to State of the Arts. I'm your host, Scoville. Today I'm featuring the Bradford City Fencing Club. This organization consists of students with a passion for the sport, which uses bladed weapons for one-on-one combat. With me now is the president of the BU Fencing Club, Anna Maria McGill. Hi, Anna Maria. Thank you for coming.
Oh, no problem. Good to be here.
Thanks. So can you tell me a little bit about what fencing is about?
Okay, well, fencing evolved out of practice weapons for when people fought duels. And after that was no longer necessary, when, you know, guns came around, they still continue doing it as a sport. It's actually one of the original 4 sports of the Olympics.
No way. Original 4 sports of the Olympics?
Yeah, it's one of the first 4.
That makes it pretty old then, right? So, BU fencing in modern day, tell me what a typical practice is like for you.
Okay, we do some stretching. Kate here leads that normally, and then we'll have a footwork warm-up, which is really important because that's the way that you move, so to practice that lends you speed and more agility. Afterwards, we usually do some blade drills, and then we'll pair up, do a little bit of kind of mock fencing to practice those drills, and then we'll actually fence.
So can you tell me when you guys practice for any viewers out there that might be interested in participating or watching?
Okay, well, we practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays on campus in Markham Basement from 6 to 8. And then on Saturdays, we actually go off campus to Peoria Fencing Academy that's up in northern Peoria, and we practice there from 12:30 to 2.
Oh, cool. Anyone come to those?
Yeah, anyone can come.
All right, wonderful. So you and your partner Palmer here are going to give us a few technique demonstrations as well as a full demonstration at the end, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you want to hand off your mic and get started out of the way and let you do your thing.
Okay, well, first of all, we're going to show which is advances for forwards and retreats for backwards. I'm just going to do that on her own to show. Okay, so in advance, first there's the on guard, which is the standard position that you always want to fall back into. And then secondly, there would be the advance, which is a step forward, the retreat, which is a step backward, and I'm going to move out of the way, and then the lunge, which is the most powerful move in fencing. You're pushing off the back leg to cover a lot of distance very quickly in order to hit your opponent. After this, we're just going to show a couple of
So, just to clarify, who won now? Nobody? Okay, well, I think that that's what it's all about, is just being able to practice while respecting your partner, and that's what I love about me. Kate, thank you so much for being here today and showing us your talent. And Maria, thank you for talking to me today. You guys have great talent. It's great to see it. Thank you for sharing your skills, Bradley Fencing, and thank you for watching. That's all the time we have for this week. For State of the Arts, I'm Elizabeth Scoville.
Thanks, Liz. All right, so we just had some good old fencing right now.
Yeah, I thought they looked like astronauts, kind of like taking it to the next level, like Star Wars. No, but I'm not familiar with fencing. I mentioned earlier, offset, that the only time I'd really been like exposed to it was during the Parent Trap, when Lindsay took on herself in a fencing battle.
See, I'm not that familiar with Parent Trap, but now I'm going to have to go check it out.
You must have been just completely sheltered as a child, because that is how Lindsay Lohan got her big, fame.
Oh, her big start?
Yeah, that was her big start.
And where did that lead her again?
See, where is she right now? How much is her bail?
But anyway, so today we just kind of wrapped everything up, and we hit some good topics today. Legalizing marriage in Illinois.
The zoo, can't forget that.
Right.
You were going to say.
Maybe. Then we had the cruise ship and the Olympic guy. It's just everything. But that's all the time we have today. From Midstate Magazine, I'm Don McClure.
And I'm Marcella Gillen. Have a great night, and join us next week.